Hi, everybody. This is Christine Clifton with Mindful Business Matters, and I want to talk to you today about networking and what networking really is. Most people think that networking is going out to big networking events and mixing and mingling with hundreds and hundreds of people. That's what they think networking is. Now, don't get me wrong, that is a form of networking. I actually just got back from an event today, and it was with the North Jersey Chamber of Commerce, my chamber. I'm a member and I love them so well. They're very relational. And as much as they're relational and as much as their events are awesome, I don't prefer networking with hundreds and hundreds of people. But I go because I know it's good for me and my business. So it got me thinking about what networking is. And as an introvert, as you guys know that I am, or someone a little more on the quiet side, I started thinking, what is networking to me? And how might I be able to help people reframe maybe what networking is to them so that they can create something that does work for them? I've had several conversations over the past week about networking. I even had somebody say to me, Christine, you're such an enigma. You help your clients with networking, but you don't network. Well, I do network. I just don't go running around to a lot of big groupie networking events because that's not my preference. So first, before I give you my tips, I'm going to read you the definition of networking from Webster's. So the definition is the exchange of information or services among individuals, groups, or institutions. I'm going to read that again. The exchange of information or services among individuals, groups, or institutions. And then it says this is really key, specifically, the cultivation of productive relationships for employment or business. The cultivation of productive relationships for employment or business. That's what networking is. How do you cultivate productive relationships? You don't have to do it in the way that everybody else says you have to do it, by running around and going to a bunch of networking events. And again, as an introvert, that's not my preference either. You see, what I do is I set my intention going in. This is your first tip. Actually, when I park my car, I go through my mind as to what I would like to get out of this networking event. So whether you're in job search, whether you are in corporate, whether you are a business owner, set your intention first before you go in. Then the second step is tap into your intuition once you're there. Walk in, take a minute and pause and look around the room and say, where's my intuition guiding me to go? That would be the second step. Then I step into the groups of people that I want to talk to. And you know what I say? Excuse me, can I join you? That's what I say. So yeah, I know it's a little intimidating to think that you're breaking up somebody's conversation, but you know what? They're networking too, and it's expected. So just simply say, excuse me, may I join you? And then you join in the conversation. And people usually naturally ask you what you do and that type of thing. The third thing that I do is I always know where I want to take them to the next step. So if I meet somebody that feels like a kindred spirit to me, I already know what I want to do with them. I either want to get them on the phone for a phone chat so I can learn more about them and their business, or I'm going to try to meet them in person. Now, quite honestly, I do most of my networking over the phone because it's more efficient for me, but I will meet people occasionally for coffee as well because it just makes more sense in my schedule. But I know that going in. Now, the other thing in your particular situation, if you have an event or something like that to invite people to, that might be what you want to invite them to or do with them next. But you have to know what that is before you go in so you can do the invitation. So my process is to have a phone chat or meet somebody in person. And I only invite the people that I really feel resonate with me and what I'm all about, not necessarily who needs my services, but someone who resonates with me from a kindred spirit perspective, because I just want to surround myself with more people like that in my network. This is how I build my network, with like-minded people who I know are going to keep me as much in their mind share as I'm going to keep them in my mind share. So the other part of this is that information piece or developing productive relationships, right? It is all about being a resource to other people. So when I get them on the telephone, I want to be a resource to them. So I want to find out what their pains are, I want to find out what they need so I can relay to them somebody else in my network, an idea that I have, a tip that I might know about, a book or a video that they may not want to watch. That's how I do it. I was on the phone yesterday with Frank Farrell. Hi, Frank, if you're watching this. He owns a video production company and much more, but he's all about video, which, by the way, is why you're hearing me on video today, because he encouraged me to get more in front of my community from a video perspective. So thanks, Frank. But as we're talking, the reason we're on the phone together is he was asking some questions about systems, and I wanted to connect him to somebody in my network who could possibly help him decide on the best system for him. And so in the conversation, he goes, Christine, I'm thinking you're here on the phone. There's nothing in it for you. You're helping me figure this thing out. What can I do for you? And I said, you know what, Frank, here's the deal. I want people in my network who are like-minded like us, who are relational, who will keep each other in our mind share and look out for each other and be able to help each other that way. I'm looking at you today like a fellow business owner who's having a pain with systems, and who doesn't, quite honestly. And I just want to connect you to a resource that I know. There's nothing in it for me, but I just want to be helpful to you. And so he offered himself to me to give me tips about video if I wanted in the future, which is quite generous. And again, he suggested very strongly that I get in front of you guys on video. So again, thank you, Frank Farrell. So that's how you do it. You set your intention, you walk into the room, you use your intuition to join a group. When you're in the group, you exchange who you are and what you're all about. And if you meet somebody who is like-minded with you and you want to get to know them better, especially as an introvert, we prefer the one-on-ones better. So have a system in place that you can invite them into very easily and talk to them further about their business. Again, not necessarily to sell them on anything, but that might be a solution for them. That happens to me a lot. But be sure to be a resource to them. And then that's how you start developing your network. And that is the true definition of networking. It's not big events. It's not running around making yourself crazy. And again, especially for someone like me as an introvert, I make it really manageable for myself. And so I associate myself with like-minded organizations like the North Jersey Chamber of Commerce. I also then make my own system very manageable for me so that I can show up very confident in an arena that I'm looking to make connections. And you should too. So what is your strength? If you're not an introvert, maybe you're an extrovert. Maybe you are good at working the room. Are you good at following up? Maybe that's where you need to work on a little bit. There's my little cat baby who's stressing out because I'm on this video and not paying attention to her. But leverage your own strengths. Baby is a little bit of a wiggy cat, but her strength is that she's completely present, and she likes to be completely present with me. So say goodbye, baby, and goodbye, everybody, until next time.